Hey, what's up everybody? I was in the middle of just rendering out this Mikey sketch that I was working on last time. Just rendering it out a little bit more. But yeah, that's all I was doing. Kinda forgot to hit record, and I was like, yeah, I should probably be recording this. So here I am. But I was getting ready to do some watercolors on it. Kind of had to go and pull out some ancient gift given to me back when I was a kid. Yeah, you know, because I was always drawing and stuff. My parents had gotten me a like one of those artist kits that kind of has everything. You know, like it has like little tubes of acrylics, little tubes for you know, watercolors and oil paintings and all that stuff. And because I was just good with the pencils and no one had ever taught me any of the other painting stuff, like, yeah, there was art class, but all that was kind of like, I don't know, I never took it seriously. So I never used this stuff, and I kind of always just held on to it, thinking, nah, I'll get to it one day. Even as a kid, I was like, yeah, I'll get to it one day. And it's just been sitting there. I don't even know how old this thing is. I might have been in elementary school or middle school when I got this thing. So, it's quite old. And, yeah, I've done a few watercolor paintings in the past, but I was working with like these little pieces of things that I bought from the dollar store. The dollar store, you can get some little cheap, literally for $1, watercolor sets. It's, you know, your basic primary, secondary colors, a black and a white, and that's it. It's kind of really all I needed. You know, especially since I was just practicing and stuff like that. And but the ones that I have right now are all run dry, so I'm kind of wondering. I was like, well, what do I do? And I was like, oh, I got this old kit from back in the day that I've never used. Wouldn't it be something if I busted out with that tonight? And with that said, I did just that. I have it opened up, and I don't know, it has, I don't know, what, 12.5 colors altogether, so about 18 colors, let's say, in each medium. So I got a good color palette to choose from. I just wanted to render it out with the pencils a little bit more before I got into it, so I can kind of work with when I go to lay down colors and render this out a little bit more. It'll be a lot easier with all the pencils done and things like that. At least I think it will be. But yeah, man, that's what I'm up to. Had an opportunity to draw tonight, and plus I have a good hour before I gotta go to sleep, so I figure I'd be able to get something done. Be a little bit productive and stuff like that. outlet keeps dying out on me. But yeah, so since I pulled out the old watercolors that I'm going to be using on this really quick, just to lay it down some base color. I might hit the whole gamut with this. I want to see what happens. You know, it's a small. Oh jeez, can't get any lead out of this thing. It's a small picture, but you know, these small ones are good for practice. So if you're ever trying something new and working with something new, try to man, can I find another pencil here? Cause this one just is not working. Alright, here we go. Alright. There we go. So yeah, since I'm pulling out the old ones, I kind of realized, I was like, oh yeah, I don't have anything to put those, you know, like when you're painting, you have to have like your palette that you're holding your paints with. I don't have that. I don't have any of that stuff. You know, when you buy the cheap dollar store ones, they come in that little palette. I kind of just worked out of there. So what I'm kind of thinking of, what I'll do is I'll just, you know, since I have an empty one, or it's like half empty and some of the colors are empty, I'll just use that, you know, and just keep the colors with, you know, the color that they ought to be with. So I use the yellows in the yellow dish and whatnot. There we go. Just want to render these out a little bit. Okay. So I got a decent sketch going. Now time to apply a little color. Or maybe I should get these fingers going a little bit, maybe. Alright. Go. Kind of color shading these spots. Alright. So I'm not sure what I want to do yet. It's Michelangelo, it's orange. I may want to go with a like a blue background, maybe, and kind of hit the outside with a little bit of blue, give them some glow. do this though. Now, I'm really not that good at watercoloring. I'm actually pretty hectic with it. Don't exactly pretty unconventional with it. Kind of just use it to, like I said, to lay down a base. And then I don't even use watercolor papers either, so anytime I watercolor, it starts to wrinkle the paper up. It doesn't matter to me though. I mean, it is what it is. And I don't really have any brushes either. Kind of just use whatever brushes I found in my place that I just happen to have on me for whatever reason. Probably from back in the day with school and stuff, with the painting classes and whatnot. It's probably where I got these things from. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just kind of knew I wanted a blue background. And you know, it's Ninja Turtles, you can kind of figure out the colors that you're ultimately going to be using. I just wanted to start with the background, that's what I was feeling. Now maybe for some yellows. Yeah, the way I always work, I like to start from lightest color to darkest. I know I just started with blue, but that was just so I can get it down. That was the only color I was pretty sure of. The rest of these I'm not too sure. I'm not too worried about rendering it out so much, just because I know I'm gonna go with more media and kind of hit it with you know, hit it with the markers and the color pencils and everything. This is a pretty small painting, or a pretty small picture I'm working on, so I always get nervous with these things because I have no idea what I'm doing, so I kind of just work fast with them. I kind of been thinking like I need to go back to the basics when I'm working with this new medium and kind of just do things like the old shading or rendering in a circle picture and things like that. I figure if I start doing that with watercolors, I might start getting a little bit better. and you know, a little bit more natural with them, so I'm not like kind of fumbling around or rushing it or doing anything crazy or even like making any mistakes that I might regret. Yeah, like I said, aside from me starting with this blue background, I usually like to work from light to dark, get the get the yellows down, and then after the yellow, do some like oranges, then red, then probably green after red. Another thing I like to do, like I said, I like saturation. I really like to bring out the colors and things. I use yellow as a base color for orange so that I'm not applying orange directly onto the white, you know, paper, canvas, background, whatever paper you're using. Most of the time it's probably going to be white. I use a yellow background or a yellow base color just because it kind of brightens up the orange a bit. So instead of having this pale orange that kind of resembles like a skin tone or a more neutral tone, you get something that's, you know, the orange is a little bit brighter. Things like that. Just a little fun fact, I guess, from me. Here we go. Yeah, these colors are really running low. Yeah, and then as I move on, as I keep working on the picture and keep painting, I kind of loosen up and realize, it's not so bad. So anything that I plan on painting orange at the moment, I'm just giving it a yellow base since it's Mikey has the orange headband. So I'm gonna start off with yellow. I may just paint this whole thing a little bit yellow, just so his skin can be a little bit lighter, so when I paint the green over the yellow, it's a little bit of a more lime color instead of like a pale green. Yeah, kind of getting my confidence up. It's another good reason to start off with a light color. I mean, it may be a rule to do so or something like that, but you know, light color you could always paint over with a darker color a lot easier than you could, you know, the other way around. So it makes for a good base. gets everything a little bit more energy in your colors as well. Yeah, now his wraps are really pale. So let's see if I can get some yellow in there, but not too much. The wraps around his fingers and his hands, his bandages. You know, maybe get the parts that are shaded a little bit more with the color first, and then his wraps are a little bit more just like a blah pale, light pale color. Let's see if I can. And I don't know if this is just a wait, what was I gonna say? I was about to say something. I don't know. I forget what I was about to say. Well, I guess I was gonna say this was just the these are just the bases. Like I said, it's the first medium, aside from the pencil, of course. But so it may look a bit messy now and kind of hectic, but it's because I'm working with a medium I'm not all too familiar with, and I'm gonna get a lot more specific with things, especially when I get to like the color pencil stage. That's why my lighter colors are usually the first ones to go in all my mediums, like markers and everything like that. Just because I lay down that color the most, and then the darker colors sort of survive longer in my pantry, or whatever you want to call it. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier. The fact that I work with mechanical pencil. I don't know if this is synonymous with mechanical pencils, but the watercolor doesn't really bleed the lead, like almost zero. So it kind of makes me wonder just what exactly is the reason for that, you know? Alright, get some green. And if you ever want to, if you're not sure how your color is going to come out or anything like that, test it in a shaded area, in the darker areas. You know, if you're afraid that the paint's going to be laying on a little bit too strong, because you know it's the shaded areas. You're always going to go over it with a darker color later. You're going to give it that much more attention later. So like with these watercolors, if you want, like kind of what I'm doing, just getting the base down, but you have like a strong, you know, like a lot of paint on your brush, just go for the darker spots. You know, they're gonna get darkened up sooner or later anyways. It's good places. Good place to start. Yeah, it's one of the things with working with these really base, you know, cheap dollar store colors. You're not gonna get a lot of selection. I guess I had enough paint to lay down the base colors. I might not be dipping into my my old classic with all, you know, the 18 colors or however many there are. I may not be dipping into that for this one. I'm getting a lot of decent mileage out of what little paints I have left in this. Bit tougher. This green is such a dark color. It's alright. just been trying to figure out what am I going to do with this turtle shell. It's got to be neutral colors. Anyone who knows colors know that if you mix complementary colors, you begin to, you know, create a brownish tone. I'm just wondering, how do I want to go about doing that with just laying down these base watercolor colors. I know if I go yellow, orange, green, I'll definitely get a brownish tone, but I don't know. I don't know, Captain. Maybe I'll just go orange and green. And skip the yellow, because I don't want it to be a bright color at all, so I don't really need the yellow to lay down a bright base. Get some orange action here with the power of orange. I don't know if anybody will get that reference anymore. But yeah, see, now that I'm laying down the orange over that yellow, it just makes the color so much brighter. Mixing colors also helps with not needing to go out and buy, you know, a million color paints. If you're good with your color mixture, I'm not saying that I am, but I'm working on it. And if you're good at it, you know, hell, you would need only like red, blue, yellow, black and white, and you can, you know, go ahead and get every color that there ever was just off of those three. So, I don't know. I remember I was at the store one time, and not to sound like an old man or something like that. Not that I think I'm one yet, but I remember I had my little old man grumpy moment. I was at the art store, you know, buying some pens or something, who knows. And these kids were buying spray cans, and they were asking if they had a specific color, you know, like bubblegum pink or something like that. They're like, hey, do you have bubblegum pink? We need that color. You know, we're starting something. And it was just to start something. It wasn't even like they needed to continue something they already had. And I was just kind of kept to myself. I was like, man, why, you know, just get pink. Like, I saw plenty of pink cans there. I'm sure any one of those would have worked. But they needed specifically bubblegum pink for whatever reason. And I don't know. Kind of brings me back to the color theory thing, where I was like, man, if these kids only had some knowledge in that field. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense. Back to the blue. Time to add to that background that I started. Alright, let me show you guys. So I don't know if you can see it clearly, me moving around so much. So far these are just some base colors. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'll just hit the shell with some orange and then just get it with some more colors when I have it available. When I get to the color pencil stage, because that's when I get to the color pencils, that's when it's really gonna stand out and really get those details and the fine lines and all that stuff. Like I said, this is just base color. Now see, this orange that I'm applying is, maybe it's not as strong, but it's almost as strong as the orange that I put over the yellow. And you can immediately see the difference between this orange over here and the orange that I have like on the nunchucks or the headband. You know? Like, this is orange that's going straight onto white with some, so it's a little bit more paler. Granted, it's not I'm not applying as much color. There's a lot of water involved. It's a really watered down orange. But I'm just looking for a real neutral base for the shell. I always tell myself not to use black, but I kind of need a gray right now. I need a gray base, and I don't think that the blue or purple that I would normally substitute for a base for black is gonna do it this time. I'm actually using this black for the first time. Let me make sure it's really watered down. Now that I got some gray out, and just fill in these metallic shaded areas without any fear. Again, this is just the base. What is it? It's been about 45 minutes. Wow. Time flies. This is gray sweater down at the bottom there. Alright. Give me a second. I forgot to grab one detail that I usually have with me when I'm watercoloring. Hold on 1 second, the light's about to go out. Here we go. My fancy dancy blow dryer dries the page quicker, gets the paper really brittle. Actually helps a lot with the color pencils when the paper is super hard and brittle. I enjoy it. I like the effect. You have a hard color pencil going against a hard paper, you can really get some, as long as the pencil's sharpened, you can really get some fine detail and get this texture too, because the paper, the thread and all the paper is all warped. Alright. Alright, now that that is done, I could jump onto some inks. I got about 15 minutes left, so I have my inks I left in my bag because I was traveling. Hold on. Oh, I found my other pencil. It's in my bag. Alright, so got my classic Faber-Castell. Now I got some base color down and the paper's dry. Now I ink. I ink after I watercolor, just because if you ink it first and you start painting, you know, spreading all this water all over it, that I'm afraid might, you know, bleed pretty bad. So in order to avoid that, and doing this really helps to make what little color I already have in there really pop. The way I look at my watercoloring at this moment, I'm not that great with them, but it's kind of like, you know, you see those artists who work on colored canvases. You know, like they'll work with charcoal or something, and they'll be drawing on either like a beige paper, blue paper, yellow, any color paper. You know, usually it's like an earth tone or something like that. Well, you know those neat effects that you get or that they get when they get the graphite and the white graphite, whatever that stuff is called. They're just that's how I look at my watercolors, is that it's like instead of having one color though, I'm giving my paper, you know, plenty of color, and then I apply colors over it, and it ends up being it just adds so much more. You know, you get that depth and dimension when those people are working with working on that Canson paper. I feel like I get a similar result when I'm working with these watercolors on these papers. I don't necessarily look at it like I just applied those colors. I kind of look at it like it's a colored paper that I'm just now applying, you know, inks and colored pencils to and things like that. I'm really looking to just have fun with this picture. I'm really trying to get into the whole multimedia stuff. So doing these is a lot of fun. It's already standing out pretty hardcore. And this is just the with a brush. This isn't even with the finer inks yet. I may not get to those tonight, just because, again, I'm still catching rides to work, so I gotta make sure, I gotta be responsible, go to sleep early. I'd love to stay up and keep working on this and record it and give you guys more than just like one step at a time. Don't always get what we want. Just gotta work with what you got. And what I got is a pretty badass looking Mikey going on here. This is what I was talking about in one of my earlier videos. I was saying how much joy you get from artwork when you work on the things that you want. Yeah, I'm not doing this for any pay or anything like that. I'm doing it just because I wanted to. And I'm enjoying this so much right now. Sorry, I think I might sound a little stuffy. I think it's this AC machine. Summertime in Florida, you gotta get that AC cranking, but man, I feel like maybe I get a little stuffy when I have that AC running for even a little bit, you know? Yeah, with this big brush, I'm just trying to get all the big parts that are going to end up getting filled in anyways, and try to stay away from the finer detail things. Yeah, I think as soon as I get done with this big brush, I think I'll be cutting this video off. Whew. Okay. Yeah, you guys can see it. See it coming along a little bit. Yeah, we're supposed to be able to see some meteor showers tonight, but it's been raining. I mean, I'll take a step outside before I go to sleep, but chances are, man, with that storm that we had earlier, clouds are bound to be all over. It's supposed to be like the Perseid meteors getting slungshot off of Jupiter or something like that. I think that's all for the big brush, folks. This video might be over. Again, these watercolors are not my specialty. Something I've just been kind of picking up and lightly dabbling with. Lightly meaning not going too heavy with them. I like the texture that I get from the looseness and everything, and like I said, I'm gonna have to practice them and go back to the basics with the spheres and try to just render out a proper shading on a sphere with a light source and things like that. And I don't know, I think I'm coming up on an hour, right? Oh yeah, exactly an hour. So that's it. You got a little bit of pencils, a little bit of watercolor, a little bit of inks. So you got to see a lot of my transitions that I get into when I'm working on these things. And so far it's not looking that bad, man. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oh. See, there goes my bedtime alarm. Yeah, this is going to come out looking so dope. These are just the base colors. As soon as I get the inks done, I'm going to hit it with like a little bit of marker action. And those markers are really going to light up because of the base colors from the watercolors. And then after the markers, with a little bit of color pencil detail, just a little bit. I'm not going to cover the whole paper with it. And then, you know, maybe even some acrylic action on top of that. I've done that before. I did it with my Thor picture. If you go on my DeviantArt, GMrDrew on DeviantArt, look at my Thor picture, especially the ink one that I did for them. Yeah, you'll see some acrylic action in that one. Either way, I gotta go to sleep. You guys are probably tired of listening to me talk anyways. This is GMrDrew doing a little bit of multimedia action on this Michelangelo. Thanks for watching.